Hi, this is a Jez and Friends podcast sponsored by at WBYR Men Talking on Instagram. So go check them out. Doing wonderful things for mental health, which I'm also a part of. And also don't forget to like and follow at Jez and Friends on Instagram. So welcome to episode 3 of a Jez and Friends podcast. Today's special guest of a podcast is Anthony Cilmi. So welcome. We're going to be covering many topics, including how we won a premiership together, footy, North Melbourne, gaming, Pierce Wolf the boys, and some funny stories. So let's get started. All right, so I said this with Dylan and Jack Shears, but what's your opinion on coronavirus, the major issue right now?
Well, it is a pretty big issue, and we all just need to follow what the Premier is saying. Just keep inside, just isolate and just be aware of your surroundings and not to be too close to each other. And then it should just eventually go away, hopefully.
How long do you reckon this lockdown is going to be, mate? Till like September?
I'm thinking maybe even. Well, the lockdown we're in right now, stage 4.
Yeah, I think it's going to go for a while.
I think, probably.
Yeah.
October, maybe. A while, I'm guessing.
Yeah. So we'll move on. Do you recommend any songs right now, artists, books, basically anything for the listeners right now?
It has to be the Kid Leroy, his new mixtape. This is just a banger. It's too good.
Any particular songs in that album?
Oh, I like I Wish and Not Fair.
Yeah, those are two pretty good songs. And he's also Aussie, right?
Yep.
Yep. Representing the Aussies out there. So sporting moment and why?
Oh, it has to be the grand final where we won the grand final.
Yeah.
That's it's a pretty inspirational moment, you know.
Yeah.
A lot of self-belief.
Do you remember the morning leading into the grand final? Were you like nervous or?
Yeah, it's pretty nerve-wracking because you're going into it undefeated the whole season. You want to continue that streak, and imagine losing the last game. You know, Tarnate was in a pretty hot streak, winning all the final games coming up to it.
Yeah, that's true. I was pretty nervous leading up to it.
Yeah.
So how'd you go in the grand final? Did you kick a few goals?
Yeah, I kicked one goal and I was nearly kicked a torpedo from 50, but it got marked on the line by Seb. But it was pretty good in the end. Pretty good game.
Pretty good. Do you remember me kicking that last goal of the game?
I don't know. I don't think so. Was it good?
Yeah. So Brendan was like to me, Jerry, have a run, because I was on the bench. So I ran on the pitch. There was a ball up in the forward line. I told Bodie to tap it backwards. He did that, got it, left foot snap, went in. That whole year was just amazing, honestly.
It was a very good year.
Yeah, 100%.
And we won a premiership from it, so.
Oh, yeah. Well, let's show the viewers the premiership medal. Do you have your medal with you?
Yeah, right here.
Oh, yeah.
The premiership medal.
Premiership medal. Some people haven't even won a premiership.
Unfortunate.
Yeah, in my second season of junior footy, winning a premiership, that's pretty amazing. And yours is probably like third or fourth season. It's still pretty amazing.
I think so, yeah. Third or fourth.
So besides a favourite sporting moment like in junior footy, do you have one for like obviously North Melbourne, because you're a big North Melbourne fan just like me?
Definitely when Brent Harvey broke the games record.
Yeah.
When he became the
You bought that
games
shirt,
record
didn't you?
holder. I have the 400 game one.
Oh yeah, the 400 one.
The one with Boomer down the middle.
So where were you at that game? Were you like in the crowd?
No, because I'm pretty sure when he broke the record, it was in Gold Coast.
Was in Brisbane.
Was it?
No, the 427 one was against St Kilda, I'm pretty sure.
No, I didn't go to that match. I'm pretty sure.
Oh,
I
I
went
think
to
so.
the one after against Carlton. Pretty
Carlton.
sure.
Yeah,
I think it was the
well,
one after.
that
I went to the
year
one.
North were on a big streak, 9-0. Then we absolutely bottled it, and it's pretty heartbreaking to see us get
But
funked by Adelaide. Crows.
who would have thought that would have been the last season for the boys,
Yeah,
for the
I
four?
can't lie. You'd say the same thing. It's pretty bullshit how they kind of dodged their four legends out there, just saying midway
Just
through the
kicked him
season or
out.
something. Yeah, and then
Pretty dog.
the next few years have been a bit of all right footy and kind of shit footy from us. But
We're kind of being in like the no man's lands. We're not making finals footy, but we're also not low enough to be making high draft picks. Just
yeah,
kind of in that medium,
I
you
mean,
know,
we've had a few
range.
number three draft picks in that. We've had
Mm,
Luke Davis Uniac a few years ago. He's a pretty good player. Yep.
yeah.
And I'd like to get your take on Matt Jackdaw. Obviously, he came back from the mental
Oh,
health break,
Majak.
absolutely kicked a brilliant goal. What are your thoughts on that?
I think he had to kick that goal. It's just
Fuck, it was amazing.
coming back from injury. After what he's done, rehab. Lucky enough not to, damage himself that much, and to come back within a year or two.
Yeah,
Very, well-
fuck, it's
very,
amazing.
yeah,
I
just
remember
amazing.
that day because I think we were talking, and then I think it happened the night, like during the night, and woke up the next day. It was on like headlines of news. Couldn't believe it. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, it's just hard to believe, obviously. Yeah, we'll move on from talking a lot about footy. So now is the social media minute. A few of the boys already have created a few hashtags. So have you got a hashtag to chuck on the post later, Matt?
Any hashtag?
Anything, mate.
Oh, hashtag Magic Majak. Has to be.
Magic Magic.
Even
Oh,
I know it could have been anything but
hashtag
Magic
Magic
Majak.
Magic.
Magic
That's a
Majak.
pretty good hashtag, mate. So the
It's
quote of a
class.
podcast is push yourself because no one is going to do it for you. What are your thoughts on that quote?
I feel like that quote's like it's very believe in yourself, self belief. You're not gonna rely on others. It's more independence. Got to do stuff yourself.
Fair enough. Um, let's have a look. So, what is your opinion on um probably like how we're having subject selections in a few days. Do you think
Yep.
our school is doing it too early and like we should have done it like a bit later? Because obviously lots of drama going on right now.
I don't know because it all depends on the person. Because if they know what they want to do later in life and what they want to choose, then I guess the earlier the better because they already know what they want to accomplish. They already know what subjects they're going to choose. But if you don't, then I don't know. You want it a bit later so you have more time to think over it. I'd say for me personally, maybe a bit later, so I get to look at like different stuff I want to do later.
Yeah. So right now, what are you thinking on doing? Like obviously there's a few days to decide, but anything in your
What
mind
to
right
choose
now?
between
Yeah. Like
VCE and VCAL?
yeah.
Probably VCE.
Fair
There's
enough.
more, you know, stuff that I would like to do in there.
Yeah. Such as PE, I think.
Yeah, because if I want to do something with sport later in life, I don't think VCAL is something that could really give an opportunity for that.
Fair enough. So we'll move on. Have you got any advice or resources or anything like to share with the viewers?
What do you mean by that?
Like I don't know, like advice on maybe you're a pretty good, decent footballer. So some people who play in the forward line don't know necessarily like the basics on like how to lead or like kick the footy or like just play the role in the forward lines. It's just like some people think it's all about kicking goals when
Yeah,
there's more to it. So like maybe explain how you'd go.
I'd say for me, forward's more about, creating opportunities for your teammates around you. You want to lead up into space, and if you see someone in a better opportunity or better space to kick the goal, then you want to give that off to them. Handball, kick, whatever. You want to be the best teammate you can. It's not
Yeah.
always about kicking goals.
So you're known for goal assists. So is it
A bit of
bit of what selflessness, or you just
yeah,
find the right
a bit
option?
of
Yeah,
an irrelevant stat, because I don't think assists are even in footy, but you know,
they are, mate. I can
it's
tell you, Tom
they are.
Hawkins is a very good player and has a shit ton of goal assists. So I reckon you're pretty similar the way you play to Tom Hawkins.
Pretty bad at set shots though, so
Yeah. So can you
got to give it off.
tell the viewers what's been going on with your set shots in the past? So what's wrong
I
with
don't
the?
know. Just I think I lose focus on the final kick. It's a drop or hits the side of the boot. Just can't go straight through the goals.
So
It's
like,
always
you
if
know
I'm on
when
the
you have a
run, I
set
can kick
shot,
it.
yeah.
But
Do you get really
mm,
nervous when you have a set shot? You're like, oh, I know I'm not the best at set shots, so like,
that
is it
used to
always
be
in the back
me.
of your
Now,
head?
yeah, that used to be me. Now I'm like, oh shit. Every time I'm getting for a set shot, I don't know if I can kick it. So literally, sometimes I feel like I've given up before I've even taken the shot.
No, that's not
It's not good. It's not good. It's not good.
don't worry, I can tell you something. Back in under 12s, the year we won the premiership, I think I had like 5 set shots, missed all of them. That was one of my worst seasons. But from then on, yeah, I had
Mm.
some really good seasons. I reckon the next 3 seasons were pretty good. My set shots were pretty decent because I remember last year we played Hoppers Crossing at their ground, and
Yep.
our team was shocking. Like you'd obviously say the same thing, but like we're in for a chance that game, and we absolutely blew it because at halftime it was 1 goal 11 from us, which is shocking. There was a kid who was 5 meters out who missed a drop punt. Like, mate, come on, man.
Well, last season, that's not a season I'd like to remember. I'll tell you that much. It's pretty embarrassing season, winning one game.
Yeah, it was certainly one of the worst seasons I've ever played
But
in.
I'd say you'd probably play one of the best out of everyone last season, though.
Yeah, I kicked a few goals. Yeah, did a fair bit. But
I
yeah,
think I had the most points in the league.
yeah,
Couldn't kick a straight shot to
certainly.
save my life.
I think you kicked about 4 or 5 goals or something like that, and maybe double the behinds or
14
something.
behinds. Yeah.
Yeah, something like that. Imagine those turn into goals, mate. We could have had 3 wins on the board or something. Yeah.
Imagine. I probably could have got a couple wins if I was kicking straight.
Yeah, I remember we had a game against Williamstown. We were winning, and then we bottled it as well. We bottled a few close matches, to be fair. So, yeah.
Well, yeah.
We'll move on from the bad season. Have you got any campfire stories? So, we've both obviously been on a fair few camps. I've been on like a leadership camp, which went for like 3 months, and some other camps along my schooling journey. And you've been on a fair few as well, including Italy. So I spoke to Jack earlier about his stories. He said a few. I'm not sure if you heard, but yeah, some pretty interesting ones. Do you have any stories about Italy, mate?
I think not like pretty deep stories, but I think Italy was just a pretty cool time. When we went to the school, a lot of people be trying to pick up some girls or whatever, but not too lucky. Or we played soccer with the kids in Italy.
Yeah.
Well, they obviously thrashed us. They were pretty good, and just a pretty enjoyable time, really. It's-
So
Don't
tell
really
the
have a
viewers,
specific.
what places did you visit in Italy, and how long did you go for?
Oh, we were there in Italy for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
We were in. We went to. I don't even know. We went to so many different places. Went to Florence, Naples, Pompeii. The volcano city, the one that
Yeah.
got erupted. Rome, Prato, Milan. I think that's it. Pretty sure.
And you went for
Oh
two
no, we
weeks,
went
right?
to Venice as well. Yeah,
And you said a few famous landmarks. So obviously, did you go to the? Yeah, you told me you went to the Colosseum, yeah,
Colosseum.
and
When we went to Venice, yeah,
The Leaning Tower of Pisa. Yep.
yeah, yeah.
So obviously the Leaning Tower of Pisa is a pretty cool monument. So um, what should people do when they get there? Like you obviously did a cool pose there. So can you tell us how it's done if you ever visit there?
When you visit there, you have to take that photo. You know, when you're underneath the tower and you're trying to lift it up or whatever. You
Yeah,
have to.
pretty good. So you just
It's just an
basically
Instagram
have it in
pic.
the background and you put your hand out like that or something. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you want me to get the photo up? Should I get the photo up?
Uh, do you have your phone next to you?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, might as well share with viewers.
Can you see it?
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
not the best
everyone,
photo, but it's an Instagram pic or whatever.
you need to
Whatever you
do
want to
that
call
when
it.
you visit the
Yeah,
Leaning Tower of Pisa, 100%.
100%.
And surely, do you have any stories of people in cabins doing silly stuff? Maybe snorers out there, or
Snorers?
yeah, any of any snorers or
No, but when I was like in Italy, yeah, when we were all sleeping, I was you know, really deep sleeper. So they were all trying to wake me up. I don't know what they were trying to do, terrorize me or whatever. I don't know. And they were pouring water. They were putting stuff in my ear, toothpaste on
yeah,
my mouth
Jack
and
said he
my
done
lips.
that.
Yeah, they were doing it to me, and I was like, I wake up. I think it was like 9 o'clock or something, and they couldn't wake me up. I'm covered in water. I got toothpaste in my nose and my mouth. I don't even, I don't know where this is coming from. I
Oh
wake
no!
up, and they're all just looking at me, laughing at me. It's not a good time.
Did you find out?
My bed was covered in water.
Did you find out who played the prank on you?
Yeah, it was Marlon and Jack. Marlon,
Oh,
the ringleader.
oh, the
Good
sneaky
time.
buggers! You need to get them back one day.
One day.
Did you get them back or nah? They
Nah,
managed
because
to.
they
Oh,
they're, they're always wide awake during the night. I was fast asleep. I could never get them.
oh yeah. At camp we played a few pranks as well, so pretty similar.
What
So
happened to yours?
different cabins obviously. There was one where we snuck into a few of other people's cabins, and so it's bunk beds, yeah.
Yep.
And the bottom bunk, there's like a thing at the bottom where you chuck your suitcase in. So I slid in under that, and like so like no one could see me, and another mate like went in the same bed as the other guy, and then we had like 5 people in that one room. And this old guy who was on night duty, like I think we're a bit too loud, came in our room. We locked the room, I think, so I couldn't get in. So we opened it, and it was all dark and shit. Yeah, we turned the lights off.
Yep.
He walked in, and I think some kid slammed the door on him. And I think he fell on the ground, and then and then he just he just didn't want to come in anymore because I think we obviously frightened the old man. So
Is that your leadership camp?
yeah, yeah, probably not the best leadership outcome for some people. Yeah, another story from that camp. Some kid was doing WrestleMania 1v1, and some kid
Yep.
broke the other kid's nose by what's it called? RKO him onto a table.
No way, he
And
broke his
you have
nose.
to fucking have surgery at night at like 3 a.m. That was felt so bad for the guy.
Oh no,
And the
that's
kid didn't
that's
even get
horrible.
sent home. Like, yeah, pretty fun camp. We'll move on. So what do you do when you prepare for? We'll do two for school and footy.
Yeah. Well, what'd you say again? I didn't hear it.
What
You
do you do
kind of
when you
cut out.
prepare for one school and two footy?
Well, like before a game in footy or
Yeah,
during.
like before a game and before school. So just pre-game preparations.
All right, pre-game's like you're gonna get in the right mindset of what you're trying to accomplish during the game. Kicking goals or like setting up. I'm always thinking, you know, like planning out with my team or whatever, trying to think of a game plan or sort of like, well, who to kick to, where they should be open. I'm always thinking, sort of, always trying to not kick goals, but trying to get in the right space. I'm always moving around. That's what I'm thinking before a game, trying to open up.
Yeah.
And I
So
guess before,
keep going.
yep. I guess before school, I'm not the best at planning for school, but it's always,
It'll
I
work
guess,
them out.
studying. But I'm not the best at studying. Not the best.
Yeah.
But, it's sort of about practicing.
Yeah. So why is your preparation bad in terms of school?
Oh, do we really need to get into this? All right, let's see. My preparation is bad because it's probably the dedication. Not the best dedication for school. But
Yep.
so practice makes perfect.
Yep. You've been working on it. It's certainly better than last year.
Mm.
You'd agree, yeah.
Oh, definitely better than last year.
So are you a bit worried about VC and how that's going to go in a few years if you do choose that?
Yeah, it seems pretty stressful, a lot of the tests,
Sure.
a lot of studying, a lot of homework. I don't know. I
You know,
don't know if it
I
might be a
reckon
bit much, but you just got to persevere.
my piece of advice would be to pick what you love and yeah, just try and find a method that works for you in terms of studying.
Yep.
Because for me, I found a pretty good regime now. You know what I do, yeah. Like so, it's a stick in
Yeah,
that method. Just write stuff down, tick it off, and just keep doing it. Yeah, works for me. Just try it out, mate.
maybe. See.
So we've touched on a bit of a few funny stories already. So do you tell many jokes? Have any jokes for viewers? Awesome.
Jokes.
Yeah.
I'm not really good at jokes. More of on the spot, whatever comes out,
All
comes
right.
out, but it's
So
not.
let's say, what about stories? So we've played footy for a while now. We obviously train like a fair bit and also play. Do you have any? Well, actually, yeah. I sort of know you as the bull, so I nicknamed you that because
The
when you're
bull.
when you're a bit angry on the field, you tend to give a few uppercuts to people. So can you explain a bit more about how that happens?
Honestly, I don't know what you're talking about. Don't know what
Don't
you're
know what
talking
I'm
about.
talking about. So
Yeah, don't know. No idea what
so
you're talking about.
one time, everyone,
Oh,
we're
one
playing
time.
footy. We're getting absolutely thumped by 60 points, and I think me and Anto in the forward line. I was looking the other way, and I see Anto punch in the eye. 2 seconds later, the guy's eye was fucking red. And I was like, Anto, mate, what are you doing? And he's like, oh, Jerry, let's not talk about it, mate. And the guy had to um go to the bench. So, yeah, it was pretty
Jerry,
big
you can't
fight.
expose me like that. You can't expose me. Gotta gotta cut this out.
Cutting it out.
Nah, I say there's one incident that was like a fighting incident, but I didn't start. It was was it Albion, I think. The one of Geelong colours, right?
Yeah.
I was on the boundary near the interchange bench. The guy out of nowhere, he attacked me, man. After I tackled him, he came at me. He started pushing me. So I pushed him back. Then he tried to punch me, and then I tried to punch him. It was all like, it's not the best, right next to the bench. And then out of nowhere, we've gotten into it. He was going to go to the floor. I would have dropped him. But then out of nowhere, Marlon comes from like the halfway line and he comes and he knocks him over, like bumps him and he falls next to the rail,
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
back rail. He hits it because he bumps him so hard, he whiplash off it.
Fucking hell.
Poor kid.
On that day as well, shout out to Josh Evans, but is it true that Josh bloody took out some guy?
What do you
Do you
mean
remember
took
that?
out some guy?
So it was a marking contest, I think, and Josh went in and absolutely fucked him over. Like put him on the ground. He had to like get like taken off the ground, etc. Do you remember that?
No?
Josh was always talking about that, but we have to get his take on it. Don't remember?
Was he gone or something? Was he like,
Yeah, so
did he get
Josh
injured?
absolutely like fucked him over, and he had to get like helped off the ground.
Well, Josh had to get help.
No, Josh fucked the guy
Oh, the
over,
other guy. Oh,
and he
yeah.
had to. Yeah, don't remember. Yeah,
No?
obviously Albion's a
I was
big
probably
dirty
sent
team.
off then.
Do you remember that day I got fucking taken out?
Was that when the tribunal said you got kicked in the thing by a rock?
Yeah, or some shit. It was against Albion, the same team. We're
Yeah, I
playing at
remember
home.
that. I was right there.
Were you in front of me or like behind? You were playing the forward
No,
line,
I
so you're
was to
probably
the
in front of me.
side. I was to the side of you.
Yeah, so it happened near their boundary. So, and you were probably, what, 5 meters ahead of a player, or like to the side?
Yeah, I was very close, very close.
So, did you see it occur?
No, but I saw the after, like
Oh,
what
no.
happened after. You on the ground and the
Fuck.
guy was like, you were just surrounded.
I did stretch off, mate, or like helped off the ground.
Yeah, I saw that.
Fuck, I had to fucking miss a week.
And then the tribunal came and it
Yeah, like, that
was pretty bullshit
we were there
what the
till 1
result was.
a.m. in a shitty wooden oval rooms. So, never end up in a tribunal or like, as long as like the injury is not too severe, don't waste your time because they're not going to do shit. Obviously, I learned the hard way.
It's a bunch of old men, yeah.
Yeah, a bunch of fucking 80-year-olds just like doing it for like some $50 or something to pay to buy for smokes, probably. Bunch of idiots. So what do you think of? There's obviously many events that have occurred, but we'll talk about North Melbourne here. Um, we've been successful a few years ago when we were like a bit younger. So we'll talk about 2014 and 15. Do you remember that elimination final where Drew Petrie kicked those two banana goals and sent us through against Essendon?
I think I don't know if I was there. I think I was again. I went to one final, but I'm not sure if I went to that one.
Did you go
But
to the
I
Geelong
remember
one?
that. Yeah, the Geelong one. That's the one I went
Yeah,
to.
that was the one
I don't
after.
know if that. Yeah, I remember there's two goals. It's pretty clutch. It's just that.
Yeah.
It's just at the end you snapped easy. Was that when he did that celebration?
Oh, the boom
The
boom,
pump.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
I wish he was still playing, but he
Yeah.
would have been too old now.
Yeah, well, so I went to both games, the Essendon one and the Geelong one. We're down by 40 against the Essendon one. But you obviously went to the Geelong one as well, yeah? So
Yeah,
I remember,
very tight game.
you remember, yeah, it was a tight game. We got off to an absolute flyer. Lindsay Thomas was kicked 3 goals in the first quarter, I think. Fucking
Yeah.
amazing player. And so third and fourth quarter, getting really close. Do you remember big Todd Goldstein with the mark with 1 minute to go in the back line?
Yeah, it's pretty clutch. He's really been a saviour for the club, hasn't he?
Yeah. He's just absolutely amazing player.
Even this year, they're saying that he might be a all-Australian ruckman.
Yeah, leading
He's in
clearances
the
right
race
now.
for it. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you think he'll play 300 games?
Well, it all depends if North give him more contracts on his years. But
I think he's
if
signed
he
a
doesn't get injured,
yeah,
yeah,
3-year deal
go.
last year. So
Yeah, if he doesn't get injured, then he should be easy. He's literally, no matter how his age is or whatever, he's in his prime right now. He's
he's
doing
like
bits.
32 and he's in his prime still. That's
Yeah,
pretty
he's
amazing.
in his prime.
Yeah.
Look, it's one of his breakout years. This one and the one we had 1,000 hit outs.
Yeah, I think it
That
was a
was
few years ago,
crazy. Yeah.
2018. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll move on. So we've obviously recalled a few famous sporting events. Do you want to re-commentate a famous sporting event? Do you have
I don't
any
know
in mind?
Yeah, the one that comes to my mind. It's not for North, but it's
Fair
that
enough.
2010 grand final where Nick Rewart's right on the goal line, and then Heath Shaw comes up behind him and smothers it.
Yeah, surely give us a 5 second snippet of that.
Oh, I don't know. All I know from that he came up behind him like a librarian.
Yeah,
Didn't
yeah.
even hear him coming.
Famous quote, yeah.
Famous quote.
Imagine Nick
Then as soon as
Brevoort scored that. The St Kilda supporters would not stop talking to this day.
well, I think if they scored that, they would have won the game, wouldn't they?
Yeah,
Well, I don't
because
know if they would have won, but it would have.
would have been a different
They
story.
did draw.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Nick Brevoort. Oh,
What a
amazing
choke
player, but
artist.
like just kick the goal. Like took 10 years
Just
to
like
like let go.
you could resemble him to the Gerard slip. Bit of the Gerard slip.
Yeah. So is it true that you're a pretty decent Uno player? So the boys have been playing Uno recently, and each of us think we're pretty good at the game. So is it true you're pretty good at the game?
I'd say I'm pretty good, but I don't know about. I just like the normal card game. I'd say I'm pretty good. I
Yeah.
smoke some kids if you wanna come around. I'll smoke you.
Oh, tonight, mate. We'll see about that.
We'll see.
Um, so not really. Do you have any tactics for Uno, or you just chuck the +4 at the start, like just go in hard, or like?
No,
Or
I don't really like. For me, it's all about like ordering the cards. Yeah, you gotta order them from in colors. That's how I do it. From colors and then highest to lowest. Just makes it really easy to see which card to put down
Yeah, me,
for
I
me.
like to look at the numbers. Like, if it's a 9, I think, oh, it might be a rare on numbers, so I might chuck that in. Or if I have a +4, I might save that till the end where it gets like clutch and all that. You know what I mean? Don't like waste it at the
For
start.
some reason, it's always number 7 for me. I always hold on because I know a lot of people get the number 7. So then
Yeah,
if
number
someone else puts it,
seven's
then yeah,
yeah,
then I'll
lucky.
put my number 7 and change the color. That's just really it.
Yep. So obviously the house party, probably wouldn't know, but there's a lot of you get lots of skips. So the boys always skip each other. That's a tactic that's used, and there's also the reverse card, which is pretty popular. So what do you reckon's a more effective card? A reverse card or a skip?
I'd probably say a reverse
Yeah.
because if it's like say I know that the person next to me
It's got
has
one
like
left.
+4, I'm
Yeah.
gonna reverse it so then they can +4 a different person. So I'm not the one, catching that +4 or +2 or whatever. I'm not trying to be the guy that takes that +4.
True. And when you skip someone, they get pretty pissed sometimes. And they
Yeah,
tend to
they get pretty
the
triggered.
next turn they tend to add a +4 to your name. So yeah,
They
probably you're
really
right.
want to get you after you
Yeah.
skip them.
Because it's
They're
always
going
that
for you.
thing, the cost thing that pisses people off. So probably
Yeah.
the reverse would be a better decision, like you said. Um, yep. So we'll move on. What's your favorite book and why? I know you may not do a lot of reading, but you've read a few books in your time.
You know what? This might sound a bit, but the Sidemen book. It's a pretty good book.
Fair enough.
I rate it.
So for those who don't know the Sidemen, could you tell us a bit about who they are?
They're just the seven men from England. They're really just a YouTube group. Just make videos, content, whatever. It's pretty enjoyable stuff.
So how long does a book go for? Like how many pages?
I think it's like 400 something pages, 300. It's a thick, long book, but it's like it's not really like a reading book. It's more like it's like facts and
Oh yeah.
funny stuff in there.
Do you have an object that holds sentimental value? So probably shown this already, but mine's probably in my premiership medal.
Yeah, I was gonna say the same. It has to be the Premiership medal. It's just I don't know if we'll ever win one again. It's just something you can always gloat about
Cherish
having a
forever,
premiership,
yeah.
won a premiership. Yeah.
100%, man. Yeah, so speaking about footy, do you want to play senior footy or like do you imagine yourself playing senior footy one day?
Like under 18s or something like
Just like
that.
open age.
Yeah, I'd say I'd do that. I don't know. I really enjoy footy. I think it's a very good sport. I could even say one of the world's best sports, but it's definitely one
Yeah.
up there.
Well, I
Just
reckon
so
it's
different.
yeah, Australia's best sport, 100%.
Definitely.
Yeah. Um, I think you said this already, but we'll just plug it again. So maybe, what's your favorite song right now, and what's your favorite song all time, and give us a reason why.
So my favorite song right now is "Same Thing" by the Kid Laroi.
Yeah.
Just feel like such a banger, you know. The lyrics are a bit mad, you know. But it's just good. He's got nice flow, nice beat, nice rhythm with the song. He knows what he's saying. It's not like one of those songs, you know, where they just mumble random shit and don't know what they're saying. He's
Yeah.
actually got, you know, meaning or whatever.
Yeah.
I'll say,
And all time
ooh, favorite all-time song is probably "Autograph" by Juice WRLD.
autograph.
Just a banger. Yeah,
Never heard of
"Autograph."
it.
Have you heard it? Never heard
Which
of it.
which album is it part of?
It's not part of an album. You know that before "Goodbye" and "Good Riddance," he had a couple songs
Oh
that
yeah.
are on his YouTube. It's just one of those songs. It's not really
So
like a album song. I think it's like an EP.
so is that one of the first songs that got you into Juice WRLD? Obviously, rest in peace to him.
Nah, the first song that I ever heard from him was "All Girls Are the Same,"
Yeah, banger.
and it was from actually a Fortnite video of Tfue. On one of his outros. It was Juice WRLD song playing. I just clicked
Really?
and I was like, "Whoa, this sounds really good." So I looked at it. It was on his SoundCloud. I listened to it. I was like, "Geez, it's a banger." Now on his YouTube. Ever since then, you know, just been listening to him.
Yeah. So did you get into Juice WRLD in 2018?
Yep,
Yeah, same
2018.
as me. I think the song that got me into him was "Lean With Me." Pretty good
Oh,
song. So
banger.
yeah, shout out to Gokhan if she's watching. But yeah, basically showed a few of the boys the song, and yeah, Juice WRLD just kept on producing good music after that. So yeah,
Yep.
and you probably know my favorite song of all time. Yeah, no,
I'm gonna be nah.
can
Feel
I have a
bad now.
guess? Actually, no, probably.
Is it by Juice WRLD?
Oh, it's not Juice WRLD.
Is it?
No, it's not.
Oh, is by Avicii? Yeah.
No, it's not. Actually, don't worry.
I don't know.
So
I
it's
feel
this
bad now.
song. You can't hate it. Like if you hate this song, like who are you? Basically, childhood song. Like still listen to it now. It's called Hall of Fame.
Oh, by the
Um,
score,
no, the script.
the script. Oh, I've had a mare. I've had a mare.
Close, mate, close. Yeah. So, what are your thoughts on that song?
You know, when it came out, it's what a banger. You know, everyone would blast it in primary school. Everyone.
100%.
You can't hate it.
Yeah, you can't hate it.
Literally can't hate it.
So we're talking about motivation now. So motivation, it can be bad and good, but like who motivates you the most and why? It could be family members, could be famous artists, famous people, etc.
I don't know. It really motivates. It's just I say a bit of myself, you know, or definitely family members, you know, because they're always there for you. Or family and friends always there, you know, giving you tips, giving you support, doing whatever they can to help you out. You know.
Yeah. Any famous people that motivate you?
Nah, probably not famous people.
Fair enough. But surely you look up to a fair few, yeah. Just lots name and stuff.
Yeah, you definitely got to look up to like famous people and what they've accomplished. You know, see if you can maybe strive towards what they've done, but not
Yeah,
exactly. You know,
yeah.
I know.
I like to like take a few things from like famous people and try and implement it in my life. Would you say
Yeah,
you
yeah.
do similar things?
Similar, similar.
Yeah, similar.
No, not too much though, but yeah.
We'll talk about PlayStation, obviously. That's how I got to know you pretty well off PlayStation, or else
Yep.
we probably wouldn't be talking today. Um, yeah, there's some interesting stories off PlayStation. right now the boys have been playing a bit of NBA 2K and a bit of FIFA. So, have you got any funny pro clubs FIFA stories? So, pro clubs is basically everyone playing together, like football. So,
It's not really funny, but it's basically every time I play pro clubs, I'm always getting abused. I'm always the one, I'm getting yelled at, man. Even you, man, you're always yelling at me. I'm always getting finessed out here. If I'm doing too many skills, if I'm not shooting, if I'm not passing, I'm just getting yelled at. My ears start hurting by the end of we're playing pro clubs.
so do you have a message to our boys?
Yeah, get fucked, dickhead.
Obviously 2K. We've been moving on to that a bit. So, do
Yeah.
you have any funny stories from that?
No, man, but it's just people. All I'm gonna say is I'm not saying names, but some people are a bit full of themselves. They think highly of themselves playing a bit of 2K. Think they're some
Yeah.
legend all-star type shit, man. Get
Um.
real.
Yeah. To this person, I think you'd say the same thing, Anto. We both say that we both come in the end of a few sprays here. So you're not
Yeah.
Michael Jordan, mate. And you're not Kobe Bryant. You're playing 2K. So yeah, it's just a game. No need to get salty over it. And I think that's all
Know
that
your
needs to be said.
place.
Yeah, know your place. And obviously, some funny stories from 2K would be us, both of us. Like I've airballed the ball a few times. Not my finest moments, and
Yeah.
yeah, also getting
See,
blocked because my guy's 6 foot.
if we don't green or don't score, but everyone just screams at us. They're like, "Oh, you so shit. Why would you take that shot?"
Yeah, I know.
I don't know, man. How am I supposed to green? I've played the game for less than a month.
For some reason, would you believe that NBA 2K is more toxic than FIFA? I reckon at some stages,
Or
it kind of like it's a bit of both, you know.
I'd say 2K is probably more toxic because there's voice chat. You're going in a match, you can actually hear each other off the opposite team.
Yeah,
If you're doing
well,
shit, they're gonna scream at you.
yeah, if it said some shit about you, Risky, which I probably shouldn't say here, but yeah, some pretty rude people out there.
Yeah, it's pretty disrespectful.
Yeah,
But
all
but
right.
FIFA is not that toxic though, but because you can't hear each other. It's just the way that people play. They're possession rats. They're running down the byline. They just cross it against the goalkeeper and just tap it in. So toxic, so sweaty.
Yeah, we'll talk about soccer actually. So, in terms of like real life, you go for two teams. So,
Yeah.
not Inter, AC Milan
AC,
and Chelsea. So,
Chelsea.
what's your
Yeah.
thoughts on both of them briefly?
Chelsea, they lost the FA Cup final.
Were you watching that live?
Yep.
Oh,
Watched
mate.
the whole game. I stayed up at 2:30.
Oh, I
Watched
feel
it.
sorry for you, mate. That was like me against Manchester United. Heartbreaking.
Yeah, you didn't even make the Champions League. At
Yeah,
least
I
we
know.
still made it.
I guess a bright side is we're playing Europe for the second time in our history or something like that. So,
Second time in your history. Wow.
yeah, haven't made Europe many times.
Well, for Chelsea, it's a bright future. Next year we got Timo, Ziyech might be getting Havertz.
Yeah.
Looks like a strong start for us. A new
What
keeper,
about
maybe.
what about your defense, mate? There's obviously some issues going on there.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. Playing. Well, I think it all starts from the goalkeeper. Kepa is just absolute trash. He's shit.
do you
Need
reckon
to get him out.
Kept out, yeah,
Yeah, kept
obviously.
out. I think Caballero is even better, the
Yeah,
Argentinian
and
goalkeeper.
he's a fucking 40-year-old or something, and he's
Yeah, 40 or
making better
39. He's
saves.
so
Yeah,
old. Kepa's making us concede every game. Literally, if you watch the Liverpool game, the last one, or the second last game we played, he just
yeah.
stood there every time. He didn't even save a single goal, I think.
What's it
Just
called?
stood there.
Yeah. Do you reckon Kepa's to blame with your really bad goal difference in the Premier League? Yeah, you guys
Oh,
have like the worst
100%.
goal difference. Yeah.
He's so shit. There's a lot of leaks saying around maybe we might be getting Ter Stegen, Onana, or All Black, but they all come with a hefty
I
price
mean,
tag.
yeah, you guys have the cash, so
We have the facilities for that.
yeah. Yeah, we'll move on to AC Milan. So obviously the big man Zlatan is back.
Oh, it's
What are your
Zlatan.
thoughts on him and AC Milan back in the Europa League?
He is the reason we're in the Europa League. I feel like him, he might not be scoring every goal he gets or as good as he used to be, but it's just the more he brings to the club, around him, he's uplifting the rest of the team, really. He's making everyone play around him, especially, I think it's Kalahonu. I don't know his name, the Turkish left winger.
Oh yeah, yeah.
He's absolutely a goat now. He just scores everything.
Easy. I
Free
haven't seen him
kicks, long shots.
much. Really.
Yeah, watching. Him and Zlatan, they literally dynamic duo.
And your
Insane.
keeper, Gigi Donnarumma, he's pretty young, 20
Donnarumma.
years old. Fuck, he's a really good player.
It's worrying. Being at a club like AC Milan, we're not the best club, but definitely not the worst club in Europe. He might
Yeah,
be going on to better clubs later on.
plenty of really
Depends.
good prospects and young
Yeah.
talent out there. Yeah. And your midfield, because we've talked about the forwards and the defense a little bit. What's that guy's name? Kessie, yeah, Kessie, really
Oh,
good
Frank
player.
Kessie. He's good. Like
Did you
the
see one
last
of the
couple of
goals he
games,
scored?
yeah. Yeah, the long shots.
Oh,
He just
mate,
shoots long shots. They all just go in top bins.
the
It's
guy's
crazy.
massive. He's like 6'4" or something. Bloody hell.
Frank Kessie. What a guy.
Yeah, I reckon you guys will go pretty deep in Europa League next year. And Chelsea right now, yeah, if you guys can get some better defenders, might win the Prem next year.
I'm thinking if we get Havertz, and there's a link that we might get Ginter, and then if we do get Ter Stegen, our whole spine's going to be German.
That's true. Yeah, and your defense will be up there.
Very,
Yeah.
we'll just destroy, hopefully.
All right. So I've asked you a fair few questions, mate. Some not so good, some very good. Do you have one question for me? Just fire away.
I'd say, I know you've asked me this question, but who motivates you?
Who motivates me? So obviously my family, because like I live with them, main support, and always back you no matter what. Probably my friends as well, because we're all so different. Like all my mates are different. Everyone's different, has a different story, but like they help you through tough times, and like you got to figure out like during like this time and like in the next few years who's going to be there for you like for the next 10, 20
Yep.
years and who's going to backstab you, etc. Also probably lots of people in sports because we love sports obviously in this podcast. That's why I got you, Dylan and Jack, because we love sports. Alan Iverson for basketball, best pound for pound player ever in the NBA. That's why I made a build like him in 2K. Tennis, Roger Federer. This guy, everyone knows him, even though you may not follow tennis. He's turning 39 in a few days, and he's still one of the best in the world. 40, Brent Harvey, Drew Petrie, most of the North players, because they show this Shimbona spirit, no matter if they're shit or they're good. Like, we're pretty hard.
They play for the club.
Yeah, they play for the club, play for the badge, you know?
Yeah, play for
Most
the badge.
players are one club players and they don't like backstab and look for money. They just play for the badge. I feel like that's
Yep.
a really strong part of North Melbourne. And
Definitely.
I think, yeah, just like looking at motivational quotes and just watching some videos about obviously Kobe Bryant, rest in peace to him. You should watch this, but he wakes up at 3 a.m. or he used to just to start his day so he could gain an edge on like his opponents. Like every day, wake up 3 a.m., sleep at 10 p.m., 5 hours of sleep per day.
That's very short.
Yeah.
Hours of sleep.
Yeah, that's pure dedication right there. I know I couldn't do that, or neither could you. Fuck, that's pretty amazing. But yeah, please request who you want me to speak to next via DMs at Jez and Friends on Instagram. Do you have any suggestions on future episodes, mate, on who to get next?
I have to get David in here. David, I think that'll be a pretty good one.
Yeah.
Or Tino? David or Tino?
David or
That's
Tino.
who I'd say.
Yeah. Well, thanks for tuning into the Jez and Friends podcast. Remember, push yourself because no one can do it for you. Thank you so much for your time, Anto.
Thanks for having me.